Oh, I took a walk just a while ago. Oh, man, these socks are still feeling good. Good and sexy. Oh, man. You know how I don't have a family, right? I don't have a wife and kids. If anyone's seeing this, right? And you have a family. Do you go out to eat sometimes? And do you rotate where you go out to eat? Someone makes a decision. Dad, mom, son, daughter. Do you vote? What do you do? I don't know. If you vote, do your kids get the same vote? Do they get to vote every time? How do you work it out? How do you work it out? If your kids vote, at what age do they vote? At what age does their vote count every time and count as much as yours? All these questions. It's important to answer these because I have questions about our voting system, and I think it was J.D. Vance that said some shit along the same lines. I think everybody at some point entertains certain questions about the whole voting system in our country. The one person, one vote, and then just across the line. At 18, everybody gets to vote, and basically, there you go, with a few exceptions, but basically, there you go. And what are we going to do with that now? I mean, it's been made clear in the last, you would say, 3 elections. But honestly, in the last 40 years, I would say that every person having the same weight of voting power is definitely not, does definitely not equalize things. And that's not necessarily, what I mean by that, it's not necessarily one vote per person. We're also talking about gerrymandering and each state having two senators. The 2 senators, I'm talking on the national level, 2 senators going to, the Senate, and then the House working the way it is. That is kind of a good idea, but that way is, maybe that way needs some tinkering. And then the gerrymandering of the districts. I don't know, because that whole concept is just odd. Because when you do things like that, especially with the 2 senators, it means that every person in like Nebraska, their vote counts for 20 times more. It's way heavier than someone in whatever, California, Florida, Texas, New York, certain states in terms of Fourth Amendment. And the House, not as much, you know, but a similar argument can be made. You know, so in that respect, you can go down that road, and then the whole gerrymandering thing is an entirely different monster to get on top of. Where you really could just have a neutral, a nonpartisan entity draw the district lines. But honestly, I think in every state, you should just get rid of the whole district concept and say each state has X amount of representatives. People vote for the House seats. Texas has 52 representatives. You vote for your representatives. You get a vote. You say, I want to vote for this guy. You cast a vote. And you total up who are the top 52 representatives. And there you go, bitch. That way, guess what? We might have some independent representatives and not just all Democrat and Republicans. You wouldn't be able to be like, I have to call my representative. But you know what? Nobody does that. There's like 4 people in the United States that call my representative. No real people in the United States call their representative, except corporations, because they need to bribe someone. So, you know. And yeah, if you need to call your representative, just call all of them until you get a good response. It's like you're calling a doctor. You're like, oh, I need doctor choice. Yeah, fuck doctor choice. Fuck it. I never give a shit about my doctor. Who gives a fuck? Does he have a medical license? Does he seem good? Well, try him. If he's doing his job good, you keep him. If he sucks ass, move on to the next doctor. Move on until you get a good one. When you get a good doctor, why would you change? I mean, I don't understand how it's any more complicated than that. So, yeah. I want to choose my doctor. Well, there you go. There's your methodology for choosing. It's like hiring someone. You hire. Are they good? Keep them. They suck. Fire their ass. I mean, does it have to be any more difficult than that? No. Oh, I'm sorry. I need to cut payroll. I've been giving you raises forever. I guess I need to fire you and hire someone new and take a chance. You know, because I'm going to save 30%, but it's going to take me, a year and a half to find anyone that's even as remotely as good as you. So I'm going to go through all the headache of hiring 16 different people and trying to train them and everything. Why do managers do that? Are they masochists? Do you enjoy inflicting pain on yourself? Just keep the person you got. You know them. You know their skills. They know you. Everybody works together. Who gives a shit about paying them a little more? Keep the good people in your life as long as you can. If a higher up tries to sell you on saving money by firing someone useful and good, go above their head and be like, I think your executive needs to be fired. He's trying to pitch me dumb ideas. And I think this guy is using up more of your resources than kind of is worth it. How do you get that asshole fired? He's not worth it. And there you go. Get your boss fired. There you go. It's worth waiting. Because your boss is probably an asshole. Isn't he? If your boss is an asshole, he's suggesting an asshole move, there you go. Fuck the fucker. So, yeah. There's that aspect of the voting thing. Now, the other, more okay, let's say controversial, but radical, maybe even necessary thing is how to change the individual aspect of voting. And we need to have some discussions about that as a nation. Now, I know a lot of conservatives want to live in voting on like black and brown people. They won't admit it. They won't also admit that they want like gay people. They don't want gay people to vote. They don't want women to vote. All these things. They won't say it out loud, but we all know they want that. They don't want atheists. They want non-believers. They don't want people that aren't Christians to vote because it's a Christian nation. It's bullshit. That's what they want. All right. So we all know what their desires are to create some sort of theocratic bullshit society. So we all know what their desires are. And their desires are also to create a nation of idiots. So by idiots, for idiots, theocracy. I am not trying to insult anyone. I'm just trying to lay down a foundation of true facts where we can start from. And therefore, once we have our baseline, there we can honestly have somewhere, because we need some layer of some ground level truth, so that we can have an honest discussion with each other. If we can't have that, then we can't have an honest discussion with each other. All right. I mean, we need that. We need to have some kind of honest discussion without yelling at each other. All right. What was that? I don't know. The phone did some jiggling. I don't know. I don't know why the phone does jiggling and doesn't be like, hey, this is why I'm jiggling. Whatever. So if we have that, if we have the start of some kind of good faith discussion with each other, maybe we can actually get somewhere. All right. We can make some kind of progress between all of us. All right. In this country that consists of a whole lot of people that are different in different ways, and we should all accept that, because it ain't going to change. All of us are here, and if some of us want to get rid of the other parts, well, look around to history and the rest of the world, that is not going to end well. And guess what, white Christian people? You are going to lose because you did once and you lost bad. All right. And you're going to lose this time around, this next time around. If you thought you lost bad before, it's going to be, wow, is it going to be bad this time? It's going to redefine bad. So why don't we just not do that again? All right. That is another fact for you. You're going to have to understand, realize, and internalize that truth. So let's just get that as another foundational truth. Suck it up, deal with that. All right. I know that might be hard for your pride to understand, but you gotta, understand it. Just get it in there, and all your little people with tattoos, right on here and right on here, and on your, right here and shit that you got in prison, just fucking, and your whole fucking deal with it. All right, learn. So we need to come together and just, we're all people. We all get angry, sad. Okay. We have kids. We have that girlfriend. That one. I don't. I've never had a girlfriend, but I hear that everybody had that girlfriend that we loved, and it just went the wrong way, and now it's never gonna happen. And after that, we just had that one. Man, that bitch was psycho. I've seen that. All right, I've seen that psycho hoe so many times on almost every friend of mine. Almost every friend I've ever had, I've seen it. So yeah, in varying degrees, color, shape, sizes. All right. So sometimes it's been a guy. So let's just get all that straight. All right. Now, like I said, like I started with, we need to discuss this voting shit. All right. I had this theory. Maybe it's just one. All right. I know this is taking a long time to get through. All right. Keep watching. And all this precursor shit just gets you to understand I ain't trying to bust on anyone. All right. All right. Just not trying to, not trying to punch down, punch up, punch sideways. All right. Or slap. I'm trying to hug. Right? I want to hug. I want to bring you into me. I would say kiss, but I don't know you enough to kiss. Just hug, give a pat, release. Let's do this. All right. The guy hug. I'm hugging you, but I'm hitting you. All right. Again, I thought, maybe we could devise some kind of system where everybody gets at least one vote, but some people get more votes, because we know in our heads, everybody, everybody's equal under the law, but not everybody is equal. And we know what we mean by that. Everybody has certain civil liberties. You know what a civil liberty is. You deserve the right to not be approached by a cop for no reason and just shot. Because he says, "What's that candy bar? You stole that." Bam, bam. What the fuck? I just, was outside the gas station holding a Snickers. You didn't know nothing about nothing. You know, if he thinks I stole it, he should first ask. Maybe I did. Maybe he got a call that someone took some shit. You know, I mean, ask, inquire. Maybe the guy starts running. You know, got to chase him down. You know, I mean, there's a procedure for that thing. You know, civil liberties. You know, you got to go through the process: arrest, arraign, put in jail. You know, have a trial, all this stuff. I'm not saying that would happen just for stealing a candy bar, and then you would have to run, and then tackle you, and then you punch a cop in the face, and maybe cut him. Yeah, I mean, there's a whole thing that would have to happen. Anyone in prison would know how far it would have to go before you have to have a trial. So I'm just saying. But civil liberties are certain things that are enumerated in the Constitution. All right. Trump, you need to pay attention to that shit. All right. We have a Constitution. You can't just nullify articles of the Constitution. You can't just be like, yeah, I don't fucking like this. It's going bye-bye. All right. You don't have the authority to do that. All right. You just don't. All right. No matter what you think, you must have smoked a joint in school and just left and been like, yeah, dude, Constitution, fuck that. No, you can't do that. You don't have the ability to do that. The Senate and the House have to do that. You sign it, and then the states have to individually ratify it. I think it's 2/3 of the states, or maybe every state, has to ratify the amendment. I mean, it's a bitch of a thing to do. That's why there's only like, I don't know, 14, 18, 20 amendments. And it's taken 250 years to do it, because you can't just fucking undo it. Anyways, and that goes for everybody else that thinks, yeah, it's right to do it. No. Figure it out. Don't be dumb. Don't be dumb and just, okay, don't be, anyway. Let me get more into it. So, yeah, we could, this is what I was always thinking. You know, voting, there'd be a minimum one, first of all. Minimum one. Everybody gets one. We all like that. We're used to it. It's a good kind of principle to just keep and hold on to. Minimum one with all the kind of stipulations of some people don't get to vote, but there are very few kind of situations for that. But minimum one, right? And then there's some pluses, minuses, you know. Like, for example, if you're really rich, I'm talking, like you're a multimillionaire, you have over $100 million, you're $1 billion, you could get like a -10 or -20. So basically, you are never going to get more than one vote, because you have just a lot of power to influence the system in so many ways that, yeah, you're basically just going to have one vote regardless, And if you're really poor and shit, that's going to give you a lot of pluses. You can still get a lot of minuses and bring it down, but poor people are always going to have just a huge advantage because they need a huge advantage, And things like a lot of education will give you pluses. I mean, these are just ideas for if we institute this kind of system, things that would give you pluses, minuses. Didn't graduate high school, have no kind of degree, didn't graduate middle school. That's minus. Of course, those two things, your level of education basically, high, low, that would mean, hopefully we have someone that would really get on this the first fucking time around when we fix this. That would mean we need to drastically fix the education system, which means my suggestion, we just get rid of private education altogether. You get completely rid of it. Everything's public. We pay for all the way up to high school, and any kind of higher education you want, go grab it. It's free. It's totally free. Everybody's like, oh, that's going to cost an arm and a leg. No, it's not. It's just not. It's just not. Everybody says just, have some faith. It's just not. Just like free healthcare. When you want to do something and do it right, it just doesn't cost anything. I know everybody thinks it's going to cost everything. Blah, blah, blah. It doesn't. Just, you got to just have faith in the method, and you trust me in the method. It doesn't cost anything. It costs less to do it right in the long term than charging everybody $500,000 to do it wrong. So, anyways, I know everybody would be like, oh, that's such bullshit. And it's like, well, whatever. We haven't tried to do it right in ever, so how would you know? And why don't you actually try to perform a thought experiment in your head instead of just, criticizing everybody? Anyways, so this is just one kind of system that I have in my head, and, whatever. 26 minutes. Words. They are useful when you want to communicate ideas. Now, the other idea is a little bit more, we could use the word tyrannical. The other thing is just cutting off voting from certain sections of the population. That it is kind of, I don't know. It's agreed upon that, see, here's the problem. I would say we all basically know they don't make good decisions when it comes to how do I put it? Making good decisions about certain things. Like recognizing bullshit and basically people that watch Fox News. And I don't mean people that watch Fox News in order to point out the bullshit. I mean people that watch Fox News and go, they're right about that shit. It's like, dude, there was something I was thinking about like a night ago. It's like they have, their procedure for creating a piece that they're doing is they start by, their first step is, how do we please our the person that gives us money, our master. I don't know a better way to say it, but the Rupert Fox, the guy that owns Fox News. How do we please the guy that pays the bills today? All right, let's find something. Let's make something that will service our propaganda again today. All right, so let's do that. How do we do that? All right, then they find something just a little bit inflammatory. All right, then they find a few ways to spin it, twist it, contort it, and then they put on makeup and shit, put on a suit, right? And they write up their script and everything. And they might be like, well, it would be useful to get this guy or that guy or so on. And they try, and maybe they do. And then they're like, all right, let's write up a script and write up what to say, get some flashing numbers or lines or something like that, and blah, blah. Let's cover the screen, make it look all official. All right? It's looking really nice. Everything's coming together. All right. We're looking like a real news channel. And, then they shoot. And the anchor, quote, got his hair, suit, tie. He's looking like a good monkey. And then, he's blah, 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 and, back and forth. And it's looking all terrifying. And, blah. And then, that's the routine. It's a great propaganda machine. That's all. They are just a propaganda machine. That's it. So they don't start with the story first. They start with how do we make our guy satisfied for today and work towards the story. Where, as far as I can tell, everybody else starts with the story and works towards finishing the story or pleasing the master. Some stations do try to please the master. They work towards their agenda. All right? So they do, like maybe MSNBC and CNN and that, they do try to work towards their agenda. But they see a story and they're like, that's a story. That's good. We'll use that one in order to prove Republicans are assholes. But they don't start with Republicans are assholes. Really. They just see a story and they're like, that'll prove Republicans are assholes. See? Fox makes shit up on purpose. See the difference between the two? You get it now, right? You get it between just kind of nudging stuff a little and actually being complete fabricating liars. That's Fox. They're just total fiction assholes. It might as well be a cartoon. It might as well be Family Guy. Like Peter, that reminds me of that time I blah, 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 and he just cuts to a thing that he did. That's Fox News. That's all it is. It's just a bunch of skits that, that a buffoon creates. And you guys believe it. That's what I'm talking about when I say some people shouldn't vote. You just shouldn't have a vote. You believe that shit. And the reason you believe it also, you've been going to church your whole life, haven't you? Yeah. I'm sorry, but that's why you believe that. You're believers. You require no fact at all. Nothing. You just need that magic book and a dude up there saying some crap. And there you go. And also, that dude's like, those people over there, you gotta watch out for them. One dude saying some crap with a book pointing at some other people that are the enemy. And there you go. That's all you need. And there we go. Those are the people that shouldn't vote. People that only need some idiot or asshole with good hair and good suit saying, this is the truth. Those are assholes and evil people. It's like, I don't have any facts, but I have a good story. And it's like, I don't know. And it's just like, whatever. Come on. Where are the facts? Where are the facts? Where are the facts that you're getting? And, the facts are, well, my brother has a friend, has a dad's wife that, it's like, dude, it's not just hearsay. It's not just my brother saw. It's quadruple hearsay, which is like unbelievable. I've heard people say that kind of shit. And that is, I can't even believe someone would believe that. Like, I can't even understand how you could trust that kind of crap. Triple, quadruple, quintuple hearsay testimony. And just be like the Mexicans are running across the border. Like, really? Like, I've never seen it. I've never seen it with my eyes or anything. Have you seen a horde of Mexicans running across the border like a swarm of zombies in the name escapes me. Not Living Dead, but Dawn of the Dead or Fear of the Living Dead or whatever the name is. You know what I'm talking about. Like that. Have you? Has anybody? Is there a video of it? Just 10,000 of them just barreling across the border. I mean, 365 days in a year. If there's a million coming across, 365, more than 1,000 every day, 3,000. 3,000 every day. And that would be about 1 million every year. 3,000 every day. And that's just the Mexicans. All right. Every day. Okay. I mean, it's a big border. It is possible. Then some people say millions. So to me, that means 3 at the least. So 9 million, and probably 4 or 5. So 15,000 every day. Okay. For how many years? 10? 5? Every year for 10 years. 50 million. What's the population of Mexico? Look it up on Google. And not only that, there would be so many fucking Latinos in the southern United States right now. If this shit was true, that these small towns that I'm in right now wouldn't have a population of 2,500. Even this one wouldn't be all fucking white people with a few black people. No. Do you see, with just a little 5 minutes of math, what kind of truth you can really uncover? Mathematics. It just doesn't lie. And, plus or minus 10%. 45, 55 million. Uh-oh. There's such a big difference between the bottom bit and then even just spread it out evenly. I mean, come on. Minus it from Mexico and a few other just, where are the politicians making these points? Are they that dumb at math too? Are they that oblivious to using rationality against these assholes in a debate? Stop answering the questions you're asked and just throw the truth at these idiots on TV. And there you go. Suddenly, the truth sets you free. Anyways, I don't know what to do with some of these fuckers. Other than to tell you, if Jesus really did preach hope and compassion and love, he would be anywhere on the spectrum from disappointed to you better watch out because this motherfucker's angry as shit and he is out to kick some serious ass. And I just think of, if you've seen the movie Head of State, watch the scene where Chris Rock, I get Chris Tucker and Chris Rock confused. So Chris Rock says he picks Bernie Mac, his brother, as his running mate. And then Bernie Mac does his intro. And he's walking on the subway platform, and he is just slapping the shit out of everybody. And that might be Jesus when he comes back, slapping the shit out of all you motherfuckers. Just walking through and just slapping the shit out of you motherfuckers and coming down on it. No fucking prisoners. So anywhere between I am disappointed in you to you better get out of the way because this dude is coming down on it. And you are going to have a handprint on your face. So yeah. I don't know. Just, I don't know. All right. You don't have a good day. Boobs.